Young ladies and gentlemen, good evening to all. Once again, you are welcome here on the platform of Awakening of Consciousness. So, it's making international headlines. The Western media are not talking about it. They have a different narrative about it, since they are the ones behind what is happening. Burkina Faso has just narrowly escaped a coup d'etat that was severely well prepared, but seriously prepared. I don't know if for now we can say that Burkina Faso has escaped, since the project that was supposed to be implemented, the first date has already passed. But they have in their arsenal a plan to overthrow and sow total chaos across the entire Burkinabe territory before the month of June. That is their objective. So, Ibrahimtraoré has narrowly escaped, once again. But this time, the truth was very carefully and well prepared. And so, dear ladies and gentlemen, it is so sad. In the context of this video conference, that is what we are going to discuss. We will provide the details. But before continuing, I ask for your pardon. Please share this video conference as much as possible. Share it. When Ibrahimtraoré regularly talks about attempts of conspiracy against him, there are some Africans who do not understand. Some Africans say that these are fabrications. No, he does that to consolidate his power. Brother, these are not fabrications. It's real. We do not wish for it. Africans do not believe it, except on the day we learn that he has gone. We do not even wish for it. May God protect us from it, that they have sent him to eternal rest following a coup d'etat. People will say, oh, so everything he was saying was true? Everything that was being said was true? President Ibrahimtraoré is following a path that even surpasses what Sankara began. He is completing the work of Sankara. That is why, whether it is Ibrahimtraoré, Assimigoita, or Abdrahmane Tchiani from Niger, they want one of them to be freed, to be removed from power. This will make their task easier. So what happened? It was on April 16th, Wednesday, April 16th, 2025, that they were supposed to carry out the coup d'etat. But it shouldn't just be a coup d'etat. Everything was well prepared, as they know that currently the Burkinabe army has a lot of military equipment, including aerial vectors. They worked in such a way that on the day of the coup d'etat, at the same time, in several cities, chaos and terror would be sown everywhere. In this case, that is to say, the chaos begins before the coup d'etat. While there is chaos in several cities, the aerial vectors go to take care of these cities. And the presidency of Fato, or rather Faso, will find itself a bit more free. And if the president or the National Guard needs the combat planes, they won't be able to have them at that precise moment, since these combat planes would be busy dealing with other cities far from the capital. Do you see the strategy? This is just one of the strategies. And what makes it even worse is that the masterminds of this organization are based in the Republic of Côte d'Ivoire. Even those who fled headed towards Côte d'Ivoire. This is, according to an official statement from the Burkinabe Ministry of Defense. Let's go back. They planned nearly 3 strategies that should go together. It is a gentleman, a certain Abdrahmane Barry, who for some time the Burkinabe intelligence services had intercepted his communications with individuals. They pushed the investigations further and understood that they were communicating with terrorists. The pants were jumping, they were exchanging with them. So this made it possible to understand that something was being prepared. However, this time, they went to check who this Abdurrahmane Barry was. They found out that he was a lieutenant in the army, belonging to the Military Justice Battalion. He belongs to the Military Justice Battalion. He is a soldier, but he deserted, so he abandoned the army. He was communicating with the terrorists, he was communicating with the VDP. With the terrorists, they organized to create total chaos at the moment they wanted. Then, he met with VDP, to whom he gave money. The VDP received the money in order to demoralize their friend. You know that the VDP are volunteers for the defense of the Burkina homeland. These are people who fight wholeheartedly alongside the army, even though they are not salaried. They voluntarily came to decide to sacrifice themselves for the nation. So, they targeted some, gave them a lot of money to demoralize the others. This means two strategies. Two fronts are already attacked. They prepared the terrorists. They give them the necessary means. They prepare the volunteers to demoralize them. And now, how to demoralize the army? Since they know that the army is very devoted to Captain Ibrahimtraoré today, what needs to be done? If, within the army is incorruptible, in Burkina, the armed forces are integral, except for some who have decided to be traitors, to align with this Mr. Abdurrahmane Barry. It is not possible to corrupt the Burkinabe soldiers to rise against Ibrahimtraoré. What did he do? What did they do? So what was the strategy? They created a strategy to deceive the intelligence services. That is, to send false information, pushing the intelligence services to arrest certain soldiers, or many soldiers, I would say, innocent ones. And when someone who is innocent is arrested, it leads to frustration. And when these are large-scale mass arrests within the army, it creates frustration. They studied this meticulously, so they wanted to mislead the intelligence service. You see, it's someone from the army who knows all the strategies well and who planned thoroughly. No, they planned everything. But when God is with a political regime, God is with you. God is with Ibrahimtraoré. Because it is with a good heart that Ibrahimtraoré is leading Burkina Faso. It is with a good heart. He is fighting to give sovereignty issue to Burkina Faso. And that is what the imperialists do not want. So, how did they discover that? The intelligence services made the discovery. But as if by magic, VDPs, volunteers for the defense of the Burkinabe homeland, started moving, coming to see intelligence services, military authorities, to report the plot that was being prepared. So, there were two different sources that helped to better understand what was happening. And it was following this that they arrested some masterminds. But most of the masterminds fled, went to settle in Côte d'Ivoire, according to the statement from the Burkinabe Ministry of Defense. I believe, yes. And so, they said their objective is to overthrow Ibrahimtraoré before June 2025. So, it's very sad what is happening. Very sad, because of personal interests. And so, ladies and gentlemen, here is the headline news. Please share it as much as possible. I will be back shortly by the grace of Almighty God with new updates. This was the voice of your one and only samurai.